right. Good evening, everyone. I believe you guys can hear me. So you're all welcome to today's class. Um, yeah. Please, if you can hear me, can you hit the chat box, the comment section, and say hi in the comment section if you can hear me. Please, if you can hear me, say hi on the comment section, or just give a thumbs up. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Victory. You're welcome. All right. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You can hear me. Okay, so I think this is the first time you guys have seen my face, and I'm going to introduce myself. I've been in the call, but this is my first time I'm coming up to show my face. Well, on this bootcamp, for other sessions, I've been showing my face. I've been anchoring most of the sessions, but on this particular bootcamp, this is my first class. Okay, and I hope you guys will enjoy it. Okay, so my name is Prince, and I'm the founder of Subzinit, the company that is powering Ascend, the web development bootcamp that is currently ongoing. And I believe in my heart that you guys have been enjoying this session. So let me know what you feel on the chat box. How has it been going? Is it hectic? Is it stressful? Is it hard? How do you feel? Do you feel like continuing? Do you feel like quitting? Do you feel like starting over again? If you had uh, other options, what would you do better? Or what other options do you want to explore? So let me just hear how you feel about it in the comment section, right? So as we are proceeding, just share your thoughts and your feelings so far about the bootcamp. But I can't say for everybody, but I know that some persons are really following. I've been seeing some very impressive feedbacks, assignments, tasks, projects that some persons have been submitting, and that is a testament to the fact that we are making progress. Okay, so I'm not promising you. Oh wow, all good, all good. That's impressive. Thank you so much. So we're not promising you a stress-free bootcamp. We're not promising you a challenge-free bootcamp. And we're also promising you a bug-free programming experience. Okay. I think in one of the sessions that we had on X, I was the one that anchored the session. I mentioned that most of the problems you face and the bugs you face are part of your learning experience. Each time you overcome a problem, it becomes a stepping stone to the next level of your advancement in your career. All right. Okay. So far, I believe we've touched a whole lot of stuffs, right? And let me see if I can go over what we have done so far. Okay, so we focused on building a strong foundation. That's actually the focus of this bootcamp. We want to give you a very solid foundation in web development. Okay, I want to make sure that you at least understand from the foundation how the web works and how websites are built from scratch. So there are other alternatives to building websites, right? So okay, couldn't follow on X. So if you go to our X handle, if you go to our Twitter X handle, you will see the recorded sessions of all the X space that we have been having, so you can listen to them. Okay, thank you. But if you still have any complication, I believe you are on the community on WhatsApp. Just drop your question, can hit the admin's DM, and we'll respond. Right. So let me go back to what I was saying. So we want to just give you a very solid foundation about how the web works and how websites are built from scratch. All right. So hard coding, I mean writing code yourself is not the only way to build websites, right? So there are other ways you can build websites. There are a lot of AI chatbots, co-pilots, other coding assistants that can help you build websites. So why learn coding at this point? So these are some of the things that people have been imagining. People have been asking these questions. I mean, why am I learning coding? Right. So it's very important that you understand the concept very much, even if you are using something as an assistant. So AI uh, uh, power tools are called assistants. They are not the one doing the work. They are just assisting you to do it better. Okay, so you can't relegate all your intelligence, all your uh, creativity to AI. Of course, they are doing well, but you also need to explore your own side of creativity and intelligence in developing projects. So AI is here to make your work faster. You're not giving the entire job to AI, so it's very important that you understand foundations. So foundations will also help you to know how to guide AI better to build better applications for you faster and bug free. Okay. So these are one of the reasons why we are bringing you to this bootcamp to teach you the basics and the foundation. So we've learned how the web works. We've done some HTML fundamentals, and where we explained HTML, did some basic HTML tags. And if you have not been following, I think we've been sharing some resources through the internet, through email. We'll be sharing resources through our community on the videos of the past classes. So do well to engage them. You can also come to this channel here, go through the live sessions and see all the video resources that we have. Engage them, they will help you to have a better understanding of what we are doing. So we've done some CSS fundamentals. So we've done colors, fonts. We've also done some box model, did some spacing, grid, and flex uh, layouts. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at what we call responsive design, and I'll explain it today. We'll do more of the coding in our upcoming bootcamp. I mean, in the next class, right? So I'll just give you an overview and understanding of what it means to have a responsive design and some of the tools that we need for responsive designs. Okay, so and why we need them, right? So we'll do this explanation exposition, and from the next class we're going to dive into building uh projects with it. So I'm going to give you more like an exposition, just going to explain it to you so you understand it better. All right. So when you look at when we have the term responsive designs, what actually comes to your mind? What do you think about? Okay, what do you think about? So let's say, imagine you are using a phone. You are using your phone to order food. Let's say on Jumia or any of the applications. Okay, and you want to, or maybe you want to check out a website, or want to check out Instagram, or browse the internet. So let's say you open a website and boom, all the letters are very tiny, very very tiny. Okay. So what will you do? You try to zoom in or zoom out. Okay. You try to expand them so you can read them. And you find yourself dragging some part of the letters, dragging some part of the website, try to see, have a better view, a better impressive view of the website. Okay. Sometimes I don't know if you have encountered a situation where you open the website and some buttons are hiding somewhere and you try dragging them, or some text are hiding somewhere and you are dragging them maybe from left to right or from right to left, so you can read them because they can't all the text we're not able to display into the full screen size. Okay. So most times you may ease and close it because it's stressful. All right. So imagine the same site properly done. Let's say on your phone, everything is clear. All the texts are displayed within the frame of your phone and to a very nice font that you can view very well. The texts are big enough, the buttons are displayed in their different positions, the rightful positions, menu is simple, navigation is simple, you tap on anything you want and you find it. You don't need to drag it to the center of focus before you can see them. Okay, so at this point you feel very impressive about having such kind of design. Okay, so that's what responsive design is all about. Okay, that's practically what it's all about. You having the same feeling you had on your website on a laptop, having the same feeling on a phone or any device at all that you are using. Okay, so that's like a simple way to understand what responsive design is. Okay, so you have a website in a screen. We all know that the screen of a laptop and the screen of a phone are not of the same size. So how do you still bring in the same thing you have on your laptop into your phone and maintain a nice view of it? So if you look at what we have, diagram we have here, you can see that we have a screen of a laptop and we have a screen of a phone. So basically, the one on the laptop, you can see how distributed and properly displayed they are. But the one on the phone, you can see that they are currently in a vertical way. All right. So that is what responsive design is all about. How to bring in the content display you experience you have on a laptop into a phone without necessarily causing any distorting the design and making the design look weird and carelessly built, right? So that people and users can have the same level of comfort watching using the website on using your website on a laptop and then on a phone. There are some web applications that you use on a mobile phone and they also have a website. So you notice that you don't necessarily have any limitation using it on the phone or on a website. You are accessing almost the same feature and that is a work of okay, responsive design concepts that you need to consider while looking into responsive designs, right? So those concepts are the things that this series covers this week, all the things we'll be discussing. So we might fix a class for maybe tomorrow or next, just to make sure that we cover everything, right? So the first thing is that we have mobile first approach, where you start building for mobile phones first, because that's what most people use, let's say in Nigeria, okay? Then you improve it from to bigger screens. So when you look at the way it appears on mobile phones, you start improving it to bigger screens. Nobody would feel happy to open his laptop and the size of display of the website is as small as it used to be in phones. Everyone that makes use of any device has an expectation. So using laptops or expecting to have so people that are using mobile phones are also have expecting to have at least a moderate view of it, right? So that's the reason why you must have some device context at the back of your mind while you're building your website, while you're building the responsiveness of your website, so that you understand and ensure you meet up with the user expectations. So there are also what we call media queries. We're gonna look at them more in subsequent classes, right? So we have media queries. So media queries is how the websites know the screen size. Okay, so how do you bring your website from a, let's say for instance, if you are using your laptop and you try to minimize your screen, let me use a website for instance. Let me look for a website to use as an instance. Let me use the Solzenit website. Just let me know when you can see my screen. So please let me know if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? Please, if you can see my screen, give me a thumbs up, give me a hi, give me just show that you can see my screen. All right. So if you look at it, uh, we are having the uh, desktop view. That's a laptop fit. That's what we are seeing here. The laptop view of it. You can see all these things. So just imagine putting everything the same way they are here inside the phone. Okay. Just imagine putting everything here on those website inside the phone. So for it to appear this way inside the phone, it has to look a bit shrinked and tiny. Okay. So we need to find a way to make it look better and having the same content displayed in the phone. Okay, so we are displaying the same number of content, the same size of content, but this time around we are putting it into a different device and a smaller one at that. Okay, so that's what responsiveness does. So now there are tools that you need to achieve this. Okay, and that's what we'll be discussing in this series. One of them mentioned is that we need to work with media queries, and then the other one you need to work with are flex boxes. Flex boxes. Okay. I think we discussed flex boxes in the previous class. So I'm going to give you a practical application of um, these tools, and from our next class we'll start applying them. But I want you to just have a practical overview and insight of how they work. So since we have this website displayed on a desktop with this size, we all know that we can't maintain the same size in a phone and have the same experience, the same view. We can't. So for us to do that, we need to find a way to compress things and still make them appear well. So for instance, if I reduce the size of this laptop, the size of this screen, so can you see something? Can you see that we have this button appearing here? Okay, so because the lineup that we have, we had these are the menu we have here. We had this menu, right? So if we are to put it in a smaller device, this menu cannot be contained within the horizontal line of this particular website. So when we reduce the size, when the size is reducing, it automatically changes design automatically as the screen size is adjusting. It automatically changes design. So the nav bar, the menu links at the top are now in at the side, and then they now have this button here that toggle them off and on. Can you see it? Can go off and on, right? So if we reduce it further, let's say you can see, you can see, you can see this is reducing, and at this point we are getting to a mobile screen, and you can see that this one now you can scroll it. This image has adjusted. You can see that this has adjusted. This part, see, this was on a single line before, but it has broken into two columns. This is where flex boxes start working, where you have something in a single line and you can break them into two lines, you can break them into three lines, so they can contain in a particular device. So let's say we have this. If we reduce it further to the size of smaller phones, can you see? Can you see the way you still have the same view, you still maintain the same almost the same font size, but the displays are different, yet giving us the same impression. So we already have these texts here. Initially, they were straight in a single line, but now they are in what? Four columns, right? So you can see this is where Flexbox can help you break something in a single line into two lines, three lines, or multiple lines with regards to the size of the screen. So as the screen is reducing, you can see all these stuff it can contain as small as little as possible. You can see it can go down to as little as possible, and it can go as wide as possible. So what happens here is that as the screen size is reducing, the website takes new shape, and adjusts to this to fit into the screen size as they are reducing. So the concept we are discussing, or the concept we'll be discussing in this series, are concepts that make it possible for these things to happen, right? As you can see, the website is adjusting. It's very sensitive to screen size. Okay, the website is very sensitive to screen size. So I can show you the code of this website. This is the code somewhere. We have the CSS. You can see this is the media query I was talking about. So this media query, you can see it the helps to adjust the website as the screen sizes adjust or reduce. So media query makes the website sensitive to screen sizes, different screen sizes. Okay, so you can design you can through the media query you can give instructions to your website on how to display in different screen sizes, and how to display as the screen is adjusting, right? So these things didn't just come naturally. It didn't just appear naturally. It has to be uh, the, the website has to be instructed on how to go about displaying it as a screen size of your your website reducing, or the screen size of the device is reducing, right? So first of all, the media detects what screen size is the website currently. If it detects it, it will now look for the instruction given on how to display the content of the website for that particular screen size and handle it. That's the reason why if you are adjusting the screen, you see different things happening. You see things reducing. You can see this image size is reducing to fit into the screen as much as possible, and you can see that the text here, they're also adjusting as much as possible to fit into the screen. So if this was not responsive, what would have happened is that when you reduce the size of this image, this website, some part of the text would hide at the extreme end of the website, right? So that is what this particular topic is all about, and this is what we'll be handling all through uh, today and coming from tomorrow and next, right? So I also want to give you a task: go up, read up media queries, become conversant with media queries, so that I should share the screen of the code base. Oh, I can't see the query box either. Okay, it's not hard. Don't worry about it. This is it here. This is it here. So um I would show you guys how to extract codes from websites later. So you can actually go to a website and look at the the codes that they use on their front end. Front end codes are not hidden. So you can actually go to a website and look at their codes and compare it with yours, and try to steal some things in their website to do yours is allowed, right? So you can come and see, let's say you have a particular design, a website that you love, and you don't know how to go about replicating such design. One of the ways is that you can come, look through inspect their code, look at how they did it, and try to replicate it yourself. So this is the media query. So I don't want to bother you up with the code here because we've not done ours at our end. So we're going to treat it in depth in the next class. But don't worry about how it works at this point. All you need to do is to do a basic research, at least to understand what it does, right? Just the way I have explained it to you, and just sit tight and wait for the next class. One more thing I have to advise you guys to do is that I want you guys to go through the previous videos that we've had, especially the video on uh Flexbox 6, right? Especially the last two CSS videos, the class of last week, because they're going to give you a solid foundation that will help you understand what we're doing in this week. Okay, so basically the responsive design, basically this week is dedicated to responsive designs, right? I've given you an introduction and you now understand what it means and you understand why we need it. All right, so if you must maintain the 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 joy that your client, your customers or users, when they're using your website a larger, and you want to maintain the same experience that laptop in their phone, you must be conversant with responsive design. You must be conversant with some of the tools that we use or some of the instructions or codes that we use to ensure responsive design. Okay. So if you have any question, I'm going to take your questions right now. Those, and we're going to meet again, right? So before we call it a day, please, I want you to drop your question. If you have any question, kindly drop it and I will attend to your questions. All right, since there are no questions, please do well to watch and rewatch last week videos. If you are new, please don't feel lost. Okay, all you need to do is go back from the start and watch all the videos from the start, and you will feel among. If you are still feeling lost, hit the DM of the admin on the community and ask your questions on Telegram or on WhatsApp. Okay. So please, you guys should also follow us on different social media. Follow us on X. We usually have X space every Saturday, and it's an AMA session where you bring in your challenges, your issues, your questions, and you ask us there. So here on YouTube, you may not have the chance to have a verbal communication with us, right? But on X, you have a verbal communication with us on X, and you can ask anything that is your problem about coding and your career. I'll try to provide solution to them. All right. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays, dedicated to our class here on YouTube. Okay. So please, guys, if you have any question at any time, make sure you join the community on WhatsApp. Let me try to drop the community link. So use this link here on the comment section. Use this link, join the community if you have not. And please, it's not yet late for anybody to join the bootcamp. If your friends are interested, please share the link to the community with them. Let them come in and enjoy this bootcamp. It's completely free. Don't pay attention to anybody asking you for money. Money for anything is completely free and there is no financial commitment of any kind, right? So we know that people are fond of trying to take advantage of uh, this kind of benevolence, trying to take advantage of this kind of situations to ask for money and beg for money. Solves any our team, we're not asking anybody to give us any money, right? Please report and ensure you inform us if anybody should come to you asking you for money for this training of any kind of financial commitment. Okay, there's none going on, and we will not bring in anyone in this bootcamp. Okay, thank you. This bootcamp is completely free. Tell your friend and invite everybody to come and learn. Right, so you can as well go over this video again so you can have proper understanding of responsiveness, the tools that we need, and on your own, do your research, try to understand it better, try to see how you can practice if you can, but if you cannot, till next class. All right. Bye, guys. Take care of yourself. Have a nice day.